Hi, I am Bill Clay, and I'm the Chief of Police in Belleville. I have some sentiments that I want to share with you, and I would like, if you guys have not, take a look at the facts and the statistics that is in the handout, the pamphlet, as far as domestic violence goes. I look at this as a law enforcement officer, and that sort of narrows my scope. But it's important that you guys know how we think about these things. Domestic battery, first of all, is a very private crime. Very private. It's predicated on the exploitation of a victim's relationship and the feelings that they may have for the offender. And that's very important. Often the victim is dependent upon the offender for financial security, or they have children together. It's that relationship thing. It is also a crime of gradualism. A crime of gradualism, where the offender slowly assumes more and more control of the victim by controlling, and this is not all inclusive, but controlling access, the type of clothing the person wears, their family relationships with friends and so forth, and even the movement of the victim, where they can go and where they cannot go. Oftentimes, and at first glance to the victim, these acts appear to be harmless. Some believe they're sweet, they think they're innocent, and they explain it away as that, oh, he's just so in love with me, he's so protective. That's how it appears, that's how it starts out. The first physical attacks, they are minor, normally minor in nature. There may be a restraint hold on the victim, a minor slap to the face, a push or a shove, pulling of hair, but immediately explaining what they did it for. The victim slowly becomes acclimated to this behavior, and it explains it away with excuses of the offender's actions, and they often blame themselves. The violence will escalate, and the victims will find themselves isolated from friends and family. They often become embarrassed, and they feel powerless. And see, that's what makes domestic battery so sinister, because it creeps upon you. That is why, as Darlene said, and I truly believe this, it is a community problem. The community must be a part of this, and they must help to put an end to this type of violence. Neighbors must be willing to call law enforcement when they are witnesses or hear disturbances take place. I know that people don't want to be snitches. I am imploring you to be snitches. This is important. Friends and family must do the same thing. You have to call. We need the community to be a part of this. And when I talk about law enforcement and how we run our department, it is important that law enforcement officers be sufficiently trained. They have to recognize domestic violence indicators, and they have to be able to see the wolf in sheep's clothing. It's important. Many of these people are very manipulative. They're very good at what they do. So it is important that officers see this. They must arrest offenders when probable cause exists. They must do this, even if the victims object. And oftentimes they will object. But the officers must see this and how the mechanics of this works, and go forward. And I want to say one more comment here, and I'll go sit down. There has been a lot of movement by cities to implement crime-free housing ordinances. It is extremely important for cities when they craft their ordinances, which we have done in Belleville, to be sensitive and cognizant when putting these together that we must protect the victims of domestic battery from eviction. That's important. We cannot overlook that. We must never fault the victims for domestic battery. Thank you.